Welcome in everybody live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are getting ready to go live here in racing at the Chicagoland Speedway here in Joliet, Illinois, around this 1.52 mile asphalt oval. Ladies and gentlemen, this is season 3 of the Madness Racing League's Gen-6 Cup Series, race number 7, the regular season finale. We will crown our top 10 drivers heading to the playoffs here tonight, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get you down on the main broadcast cam where these guys are toting and boating in qualifying session. Welcome in to race number 7. A beautiful day to go racing here as the lights should go down. The sun should go down and the lights should come on here momentarily. Qualifying is on our way. We still got about a minute and a half or so, about a minute. We'll give it about 30 seconds or so. Therefore, we know that anybody on the racetrack currently cannot turn another lap. I want to go ahead and appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll do our weather report as we think about it. The 77 degrees out here tonight on this beautiful day to go racing, a Monday night. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 7-mile-per-hour wind coming in from the northeast, now 9. So it's going to be a windy day here in the windy city of Chicagoland at the Chicagoland Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get that up off your screen here. Looks like the qualifying results are ready to throw up and on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time this season, from Wilford, South Carolina, driving the number 02 for Team Penske Development, Nicholas Maynard, the kid, on the pole here tonight at Chicagoland. And those will be your starting 13 drivers here tonight for the Gen-6 Cup Series. Been struggling with the car count here this season, but that is A-OK. 13 cars will give us exactly what we're looking for here tonight. So that looks like maybe 4 cars will not go for a qualifying lap here tonight. That being Chris Knighty, Bobby Kyle, Ty Robertson, and Jack Tankos. So as tonight develops here, we will make sure that you guys are locked and loaded with all of the playoff information that you are going to need. Look at that beautiful view here as the sun continues to beam down on the racetrack and go down behind the stands. It's going to be an ultimate race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are going ahead and locking into their race cars currently at this time. See if we can't get you down on the main broadcast cam, get you guys up and moving with tonight's starting grid. This will be the front 6 rows, starting 12 drivers, kicking it off here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here at Chicagoland for the regular season finale. Now let's get you down here on the main broadcast cam and let you meet your favorite drivers. On the pole, driving the number 02 from Wilford, South Carolina, that's the PPG Team Penske Development driver, the kid of Nicholas Maynard. On the outside of him, driving the Western Auto number 17 Chevy Camaro, Carter Jackson. Starting in the 3rd place spot, driving the Blue Def number 81 Ford Mustang for Troy, Alabama, the winner 2 weeks ago at Talladega, Terry Hughes Jr. And on the outside of him, 2nd row, driving the Red Bull Ford number 10 Ford Mustang from Goldsboro, North Carolina, John Smith. And on the outside behind him, driving the number 54 M&M's Toyota Camry. Looks like Jonathan Smith's having some trouble getting the race car up and moving. From McCreary County, Kentucky, that's the number 54 of Trenton, John. And escaping away from us up here, driving the Bombay Sapphire Ford Mustang from Ranger, Georgia, that's the doctor of Michael Ponder Jr. And driving the, looks like going to be number 9 Chevy Camaro with Colin Cole's CK Parking Lot Maintenance on board from Lincoln, Nebraska, that's the number 9 of Colin Cole. Behind him will be the number 18 Mobile One Ford Mustang from Troy, Alabama, the younger brother of Terry Hughes Jr., Trent Hughes. And on the inside him, driving the 777 Silver Bullet Chevy Camaro from Honorsville, Georgia, Bobby Kyle. And driving that number 45 Maiden Trail Camaro from Newark, New Jersey, the Richard Petty team of Tim Powers. And behind him, driving that number 88 Exalta Camaro from Coleman, Alabama, looking to climb his way back up the standing boards, that's Ty Robertson. And filling in here tonight for his son, Kevin Tankos, to be the father of the number 4 driver, driving in here, filling in tonight for the Budweiser 4 Camaro of Jack Tankos. And starting from the pits here, driving the Discount Tire GovX Triple Deuce Ford Mustang from B-Town, Indiana, that's going to be Chris Knighty. So it'll be Nicholas Maynard on the pole here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. We are getting ready to go racing here tonight. We'll pull up tonight's keys of the race. And if you want to go to victory lane, you're going to have to do these specific things. 4 sets of tires will round out our event here tonight. 110 laps are scheduled in the books. A multi-groove racetrack is going to bring some intense action-packed racing. You're going to have to keep it together. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are going to have tons of grip early on these tires inside of these Gen-6 Cup cars. But you want to save those tires. That will be that third key. Finally, this is the regular season finale. The top 10 drivers in the point system head to the playoffs 2 weeks from now at the Kansas Motor Speedway. Somewhere between 34 and 40 laps in Sunoco Racing Fuel is what they'll turn out to. Nicholas Maynard on the pole, Carter Jackson to his outside, Terry Hughes Jr. 2 weeks ago won at the Talladega Super Speedway in the 3rd place position, followed by John Smith in the 4th place position. So 4 blue ovals round out this top 5 here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. Well, looks like we'll take at least one more lap around. It looks like the pace car just doesn't want to come off the racetrack quite well. If you're loving what you're seeing, smack that like button, press that follow button, head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. We're getting ready to go live here tonight for the Salesforce 160. Green flag will drop this time around as the lights have went off on top of the pace car. 13 of the best pile up to abreast here tonight in Illinois in a packed out stadium here. We will do the weather report one more time off the exit of turn 2 so you can get the conditions of what you're going to find here tonight. Make sure you grab another beer, light another cigarette. A beautiful day to go racing. 73 degrees here tonight. Northeast 7-mile-per-hour wind, and if you're one of those Australian fucks, 7 kph, whatever the hell y'all call it over there. What the hell is a kilometer? Condition partly cloudy here tonight and about 46% humidity. So these guys are going to have some grip out here on the racetrack, but it should slick off as the sun beams down behind the Chicago sky. Sunset here in the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. We're at the Chicagoland Speedway. The kid's on the pole, Nicholas Maynard, his 2nd one on the year. Carter Jackson's to the outside of him. The pace car will make that left on the pit lane this time around. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be live for the Salesforce 160. Green flag is getting ready to fly in the air. Maynard slips on it. You have yourself a virtual race. Climbing up the banking out here in turn 1 and 2 of the Chicagoland Speedway. The Salesforce 160 slide down the back straightaway. Nicholas Maynard has the race lead over Terry Hughes Jr. Michael Ponder Jr. looks down behind him, and Terry Hughes Jr. looking for that race lead early into turn 3. Maynard on the outside, Hughes down low. Hughes won that Talladega 2 weeks ago. He'll take Maynard up the racetrack across the front straightaway. Who's going to lead lap number 1? It's Nicholas Maynard inside of the number 02 PPG Ford Mustang, flying in the banking in turn 1 and 2. Here comes the Dr. Michael Ponder Jr. who'll have to surgically move his way up through the field. No pun intended here tonight after starting in the 5th place spot. He's already done most of the work here already. He's rolling up through the field right now. Michael Ponder Jr. climbs the banking here through turns 3 and 4. Maynard's grabbed the race lead earlier, riding on board the Maynard Motor 02. The kid of Nicholas Maynard looking to get the points lead here tonight. He's currently registered in the 3rd place spot on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's not battling any kind of handling conditions right now early here tonight, but we got a 4-way battle here for the 2nd place position. Terry Hughes Jr. on the inside, looking 3 wide on the bottom. Goes Carter Jackson in that number 17 machine. Colin Cole making his way in the number 9. Door to door here, climbing the banking up turns 3 and 4. Sparks coming out the bottom end of 2 of these race cars, indicating to us that they are on low air pressure and trying to get them up to temperature, dragging the splitter here across the front straightaway. Single file here, the front 3 positions round out Maynard, Johns, Ponder, Jackson, and Hughes. That's the top 5 positions here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Terry Hughes Jr. working his way down the back straightaway inside of this number 81 from Troy, Alabama. A long ways away from home here in Chicago for Terry Hughes Jr. Right off the front nose of the number 81 Blue Def. That's Def as in diesel exhaust fluid, but he's not going to need that here tonight. He's got to work his way back up through the field. Here comes that number 54 M&M's machine of Trenton Johns. He'll look to the right rear quarter panel of Nicholas Maynard. They'll battle door to door. Climb the banking, contacts Maynard sideways. He's able to hold on to the race car off turn 2. That allows to open up the door to the number 13 Ford Mustang of Michael Ponder Jr. He'll climb the banking here through turns 3 and 4. Maynard will go down low. Trent Johns has the race lead. Heading back across the front straightaway here. Lap number 5 being completed of the Salesforce 160. Trent Johns has the race lead. Michael Ponder in second. Maynard fighting back down here in the third place spot on the inside. Carter Jackson in that fourth place position. Terry Hughes Jr. rounding out in the fifth place spot. Colin Cole in the sixth place position. He got to go all the way back here to turn 2 now, where you'll find the next group pack of cars. That's Trent Hughes, Tim Powers, and Ty Robertson. Not sure where these guys went wrong here on that restart. Riding out the front nose of the number 88 of Ty Robertson. He's a one-time winner this season. We've had 6 different races. 6 different winners, up to this point. A couple part-time drivers making their return back here tonight. Maynard, a little bit of contact there with Trent Johns has sipped him back to the 5th place spot now, the 4th place spot, If he doesn't give up this position to Terry Hughes Jr., they'll battle door to door here, but climb the banking. We got the battle for the race lead. That's the Dr. Michael Ponder Jr. And if you found your way out there in that fan zone before the green flag dropped here tonight for the Salesforce 160, Michael Ponder Jr. got Bombay Sapphire on board this week. They were giving out free shots to all the fans in the fan zone, climbing the banking here in turns 1 and 2. Some action-packed racing going on up to this point so far. Maynard changes his lineup behind him. He'll go to the top side of the racetrack, riding down the back straightaway with Terry Hughes Jr. Maynard will get the run. Hughes will fill back in. Where does Maynard go? He'll take the top side of the racetrack into turns 3 and 4 here, trying to make something shake. He sees the battle in front of him. Can he get the run? That's Michael Ponder Jr. crisscrossing back down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He wants the race lead here tonight at Chicagoland. I think it's only fair, folks. These guys are putting on a show. We might as well get you down there on the racetrack for tonight's First Madness Racing League. Fast and loud, Ponder Jr. right into the front nose of the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. They'll both pancake the outside safer barrier. Battle for that 5th place spot. That'll put Maynard back in the 6th position. Lap number 9 coming to be completed this time around. It's going to be Johns, Jackson, Hughes, Ponder, and Cole, the top 5 driver. After contact made, we'll get you down on the racetrack for tonight's First Madness Racing League. Fast and loud. Chicagoland Speedway back in here for the fast and loud. These guys not giving an inch here. Battling back for the race lead. Here comes Nicholas Maynard in that number 02 PPG Ford Mustang. After contact made with Michael Ponder Jr., Maynard drove his way back up here side by side for the race lead in 1. Trenton Johns to the outside of the kid of Nicholas Maynard. They'll both climb the banking here off turn 3 and 4. Terry Hughes Jr. elects to stay on the top side. They'll give help here to the number 54 of the Toyota machine of Trenton Johns, the only lone Toyota out here in the field. Here comes Carter Jackson in that Western Auto number 17 Chevy Camaro on the outside as he saved a little bit of rubber, trying to make something shake here. Lap number 16 completed this time around. 3 wide for the race lead. Maynard on the outside. Johns up the middle. Hughes down low. Who's going to get it off turn 2? Maynard keeps his foot in it down the back straightaway. Nicholas Maynard back out to the race lead here in Chicagoland. What a move from the kid of Nicholas Maynard, needing that first win here in the Gen-6 Cup Series. Does he clear himself down on the bottom side of the racetrack? Yes, he does. Get the race lead back to Nicholas Maynard here in Chicagoland. Trenton Johns says the race car is absolutely plowing tight right now. We'll ride on board this number 54 machine of Trenton Johns as you sit inside the number 54 Camry, working down the back straightaway off of turn 2. The lights have officially went down behind the sunset sky here in Chicago, Illinois. We're up and roaring and moving here at the Chicagoland Speedway Gen-6 Cup Series regular season finale on the way. But don't forget about the guys back here trying to make their way back up after slowing on the start. That's Ty Robertson, Trent Hughes, Tim Powers, Bobby Kyle, and Jonathan Smith, with Chris Snoddy starting out of the pit. Lap number 18 is up and moving already. We have yet to have that caution flag here tonight that I would imagine these drivers have anticipated would happen at some point here tonight. You're riding off the spotter cam 777 of Bobby Kyle, the Silver Bullet, the 64-year-old from Honorsville, Georgia, working his way around Tim Powers. Both of these guys up there in age. But Bobby Kyle, take the advantage there. Oh, he'll get his left rears down there on the paint. That'll ship that car tight up the racetrack. Bobby Kyle looks like he may be getting that thing up and moving here, starting to plunder his way up through the field. That 45 main and trail Chevy Camaro's worked his way up through the field. Trent Hughes doing a nice solid job here tonight in that number 18 Mobil 1 Ford Mustang. He's in the middle to the top side of the racetrack, slowly hawking down this number 88 of Terry Hughes Jr., Ty Robertson. Trent Hughes having one of the better runs he's had all year up to this point. 20 laps into the Salesforce 160. Back up here in the front half of the pack, Nicholas Maynard's towing away from Terry Hughes Jr. Trenton Johns in the 3rd place spot, followed by Colin Cole in the 4th place position. Carter Jackson sails down here in this number 17 Chevy in the 5th place spot, with Michael Ponder Jr. lurking in the distance. He'll scrape the outside wall off turn 2. These are the Gen-6 Cup Series cars, and ladies and gentlemen, we got a full season underneath our belt over on the YouTube page of these race cars. So if you want to go find out some action-packed racings over there, we got plenty of them. Ladies and gentlemen, these cars are absolutely known for the massive runs that they get inside of them. You see the 5-inch spoiler on the back of each and every single one of the drivers' race cars here tonight. Maynard will change his lineup a little bit there through turns 1 and 2. He'll go top and high, and looks like Hughes will take the low line through turns 2. That'll kill his momentum a little bit. Trent Johns got a little bit of drafting help there from the 17 Western Auto machine of Carter Jackson. Carter Jackson will pack a little bit of air on the left rear of the crispy M&M 54 Camry. Get him a little bit tight up the racetrack. You see the sparks really starting to go away. Contact made there between Trent Johns and Carter Jackson. These guys not giving an inch here tonight at Chicagoland. It's been a hell of a year up to this point, ladies and gentlemen. If you're loving what you're watching, head on over to the YouTube page. We'll bring up the point standing now as these guys look like they're going to pick off some green flag laps for us. Terry Hughes Jr. in that 81 machine in the 2nd place spot currently at the moment. On the points lead, he has 1 win 2 weeks ago at the Talladega Super Speedway. Maynard sitting in that 3rd place spot. Colin Cole as well in the 2nd place spot. And all of these guys within striking distance of making something shake here tonight. You're going to want to have to keep it clean. We'll bring up the remaining schedule here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, headed to Kansas Motor Speedway, 2 weeks from now to start off the playoff. It's going to be one epic showdown there, that 1.5 miles, similar to where we're at here tonight in Chicagoland, where these guys continue to battle it out here for the race lead. 3 wide again at Chicagoland. Maynard upstairs, Hughes down the middle, Johns down low, but they're not able to get the foot down quite like they were looking for. Trenton Johns will pull back in the line here at Chicagoland. Looking at the left front splitter cam, of Trenton Johns in this number 54 Camry down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Nobody behind him. Does the number 17 of Carter Jackson, yes, get the run down the back straightaway, but Colin Cole will plug the hole as well right there. All 5 of these guys putting on an absolute clinic here tonight at Chicagoland. These guys got tons of grip in the race cars, and it's showing here. But who is on the back half of saving a little bit of Goodyear rubber? Terry Hughes Jr. challenging for the race lead here at Chicagoland. But it'll be Nicholas Maynard not being denied up the middle here. He'll keep the lane off the top of the racetrack, make Terry Hughes Jr. jump up out the gas. And Carter Jackson will work his way off turn 2. He'll fill the hole to the second place position. Heading down into turns 3 and 4. Jackson down low. Maynard looking to give up the race lead here. Jackson trying to make it stick for the slide drop here. Chicagoland, can he get it? No. Almost contact made there for the race lead. Colin Cole seeing this shit make out in front of him. How does he elect to move this CK Rocky Lot number 9 Chevy into business? Folks, we're only 26 laps out of 110 scheduled here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It is going to be an absolute mayhem finish here tonight if we can keep the shit up like this. We got 2 whole packs separated out here. Green flag pit stops are right around the corner. 34 to 36 to 38, something like that laps in fuel. Maynard will go down to the apron there and cut off the air to the front nose of the Carter Jackson number 17 machine. Jackson will pull back down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll look for that slide drop from turn 1 and 2. Jackson from the bottom to the top side of the racetrack, not able to get himself clear. He'll fight back hard. Here comes Carter Jackson. Watch it, he's too bad. Oh, here, contact made. Maynard, big time to lose, but he's able to hold on to the race car. What a save there from the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. That'll ship him to the top side of the racetrack. The kid showing out here. He'll have to go back to the race lead. Contact made from Carter Jackson and that number 17. That's twice already. Nicholas Maynard's been turned around almost here tonight. That should really slow up these guys battling it out here. Trenton Johns gets that second place spot. Maynard didn't lose too many positions. He'll snag that third place position. What a save. Terry Hughes Jr. looking to go back-to-back here inside of the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. Colin Cole in the number 9 machine moves into the top 5 spot. Ty Robertson has separated himself from this back half pack that we were talking about earlier that got behind on the opening restart. It looks like these guys have slowly made up some time. They figured it all out. Got single file. Bobby Kyle will look door-to-door here with Trent Hughes. The battle for looks like going to be the 8th place position. Trent Hughes down on the bottom side of the racetrack chasing up the racetrack. Whoa, Bobby Kyle barely able to snip that 777 Silver Bullet from the front nose of that Trent Hughes number 18 machine, but it's going to be Colin Cole and these boys nose to tail in a pack. Carter Jackson has sailed away with it. Trent Johns holding on to this second place spot, and we don't know how. 2 blue ovals battle for third. That's Hughes and Maynard. Colin Cole looking to strike somewhere on the bottom. Colin Cole looking to that left rear PPG of Nicholas Maynard Ford Mustang, but he's not able to get it down the back straightaway. Carter Jackson doing what he did this past weekend inside of the Xfinity Series, trying to be patient, bring it on home. Terry Hughes Jr. door-to-door with Trenton Johns, trying to make something shake. These 2 guys not going to spare each other an inch here tonight. We've seen Trenton Johns in that 54 battle it out with Terry Hughes Jr. at the Bristol Motor Speedway a couple weeks ago. Contact was made right there, and these guys are just beating and banging back and forth with one another. Terry Hughes Jr. was not out there with that number 54 when we left the last great Coliseum at Bristol. And ladies and gentlemen, here tonight, look at this. They found themselves nose to tail once more, fighting for position. This will be the second place spot. One already down on the pit lane. That's Michael Ponder Jr. He'll come down with this number 13 Ford Mustang. Says it's absolutely plowing tight. They said that he may have knocked the toe out of this number 13 machine. They'll drop the jack on it. Says the valve stem is still good inside of the tire. Tell them to try to hold on and hope and pray for a caution. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Now that means pit stops are right around the corner, and it is wide open for anybody to come down here. Who's going to be our first contestant to come grab some green flag stops and get some brand new fresh tires? Colin Cole has been one of the few guys out of these maniac kamikaze battles we've had here early that has been one of the patient ones. Colin Cole finds himself in the second place spot here on this long run, 33 laps in. Maynard, contact there from Trenton Johns and Carter Jackson from the race lead has left him in the third place spot. Trent Johns has lost his front half position. He's struggling to hold on to the 4th place spot. Behind him, though, is Terry Hughes Jr. trying to make something shake. One thing else I do and can note, it looks like most of these guys are dragging splitters or sparking inside of the corners. I don't see much, if any, coming out that 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. He gets out of the line of the number 9. Yeah, I don't see much of any. Is that manufacturer related? Is that driver related? You know, these guys have several different kind of settings that they can use all year long to try to help out when they jump into these races. You can change the ratios on your steering box. You can change the offsets. You can change the brake bias. But these guys are running fixed setups here. Looks like we'll get our first green flag contested. It's the kid of Nicholas Maynard. He'll pull it down on the pit road inside of this number 0-2 machine. Riding on board the number 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. He's bringing it down on the pit lane in his Maynard Motors 0-2 PPG Ford Mustang for Team Penske Development. He says the car feels a little bit tight right here. They're going to give it a jack here on the right side. Wedge adjustment, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. He'll pull down into his box. These guys will jack up the race car, and they got the gas man here on the right side, left side of the race car. They'll drop the jack. Get on here. They got to get up and moving here, and here comes the pack and the rest of the field coming around. Looks like everybody else, though, is going to get their bluff called. Carter Jackson from the race lead down on the pit lane. Trenton Johns in that 54 coming out on the pit lane. Tim Powers driving this 54 main and tail machine. He'll come down on the pit lane. Carter Jackson complaining of some tight conditions when he's out front in clean air. They'll loosen up the 17 machine. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Trenton John says the nose may be killed on this Toyota Camry. I do not know what to do. They'll sit here, try to get a little bit of damage fixed. Tim Powers slides into his box. They're telling Tim Powers to be patient on the long run. You got a fast main and trail 45 machine here tonight. You're locked into the playoffs if you can continue doing what you're doing. We'll see how things shake out here. The green flag pit stop have begun here at Chicagoland. Carter Jackson still down there on pit lane. Tim Powers stuck down there on pit lane. 2 black flags being given out to those 2 drivers. So that's going to be a killer right there for the 17 of Carter Jackson from pit lane. Coming down as what was going to be the race lead, trying to call the bluff to the guys that started it. I believe it was the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. He's worked his way off turn 3 and 4. He's back up and moving here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Here comes the 777 of Bobby Kyle. And this 777 Silver Bullet on and off the pit lane. They did 4 tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and a track bar adjustment to the 777 of Bobby Kyle. He says he feels a smidge nudge going into turn 3 and 4, but he's going to try to lift the high line this time around. 38 laps completed here out of the scheduled 110. Salesforce 160 sees Colin Cole as the race leader. One of the more patient ones we've had up here to the point tonight from Nebraska. Looks like his 7 machine is hanging on. This number 9 machine is hanging on quite well on the long run. But the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. looks like he's got some speed in this Ford Mustang as well. Terry Hughes won the race 2 weeks ago at the Talladega Super Speedway. Don't know why I got that one crossed in my head. Terry Hughes Jr.'s first ever Booty Scoot Racing win and his first ever one inside of the Madness Racing League. It took Terry Hughes Jr. 3 wins to get the victory, 3 seasons, to get the victory lane for the first time. And he says he'll be damned if he doesn't experience that feeling again. Here tonight for 81XI Racing, Terry Hughes Jr. on the long run since the drop of the green flag. Now approaching that lap 40 mark. He's got to be knocking on the back door to the green flag pit stop. Here comes Maynard trying to work his way around for position to get around the lap traffic car of the number 10 of Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith's rested at that 4th place spot. Maynard on the march here right now. He needs to run down this number 9 of Colin Cole. That'll give him the race lead if nobody else brings it down on. And here comes Ty Robertson. He'll shut that one right out of her face. And whoa, big time fast on the pit lane. 2 of these guys come down here. Jonathan Smith right here trying to call the bluff to the number 88 of Ty Robertson, getting ahead of myself. Do not want to talk too damn fast. Here comes the 81XI driver, Ford Mustang of Trent Hughes and Chris Knighty. These 2 guys will work down here and try to make something shake. Ty Robertson says the car's a smidge nudge through turns 1 and 2. They'll do a track bar adjustment, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. John Smith in the Red Bull Ford Mustang number 10. He'll take an air pressure adjustment here on both right side tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, 4 fresh Goodyear tires. They'll drop the jack and they'll be on and off pit lane with Ty Robertson. That'll give, looks like, going to be Colin Cole the race lead here in this CK parking lot maintenance number 9 machine on the long haul through the green flag pit stops. That'll leave him as the only one on the on the lead lap currently as we are registered in score. It looks like Terry Hughes Jr. will finally bring this 81XI Ford Mustang down on the pit lane. He says the car is absolutely beautiful. Do not touch it. I feel like I have something on the long run, but we need these guys to keep it clean if we want to have a chance at it here tonight in Illinois. But here comes Colin Cole. He will call his bluff and bring it it out on the pit lane, just couldn't go any longer. So it looks like 42 laps might be the max that we might get out of the fuel tank here tonight for the majority of the drivers. Here comes the CK parking lot maintenance Chevy number 9 machine, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and a track bar adjustment for CK parking lots maintenance number 9 of Colin Cole. So officially, this should give Nicholas Maynard the race lead here on the long flag green pit cycle. So Maynard will jump down from the 4th place spot all the way to the race lead here on that green flag pit cycle, being the first one down. What a call from the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard in that PPG Team Penske Development Ford Mustang team. Here will come Colin Cole off of pit lane, and Maynard's long gone down into turn 3 and 4. Looks like Colin Cole will be rescued in the 2nd place spot as he will beat out Trenton Johns. Carter Jackson in that number 17 machine that you just seen pass scheduled a lap down here. Black flag on pit lane for speeding. Carter Jackson would be scheduled in that 2nd place spot right now, getting out over Colin Cole, but a killer's penalty will kill Carter Jackson's day. Colin Cole's got some work to do, boys, here now on the long run. You got to get it up and moving, or like we say here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, scooting and booting. It's going to be a long way to go. We are not even at the halfway point here at the Salesforce 160. Green flag pit stops are fully in effect. And on the long run haul, Maynard's got an 8-second advantage with the race lead over the rest of the pack after a awesome pit call. As these guys cycle out here this last time around, this should give me the information needed to give you guys updated on what's currently happening on side of the Gen-6 Cup Series regular season finale. We'll get you up here live and high, trying to get you an awesome view of what's happening. Nicholas Maynard inside of this PPG 02 Ford Mustang contact from the race lead. He's decided to bring it down on the pit lane first. That was back on lap number 34. We are slowly approaching 12 laps to go. Maynard's team gave him 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel in 15.1 seconds. Colin Cole ran the extra mile. He only pitted 4 laps to go, so about 8 laps difference there in Sunoco Racing fuel and tires. Colin Cole, guys, give him a 14.8 second stop. So he should have the advantage here tremendously on this long, short green flag run if we can keep it green here for the Salesforce 160. Trenton Johns, guys, give him 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel back on lap number 35, which will be now 13 laps to go this time around. But the one to look for is going to be Ty Robertson. He's scorching hot right now through the field. Lap number 40 is when he pitted, 7 laps to go, and they give him a 14.8 second 4-tire stop for the number 88 machine. Battles are slowly evolving around here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. Nicholas Maynard has the race lead. Michael Ponder Jr. will bring it back down on the pit lane. They're still trying to patch up this number 13. Well, as we approach lap number 48, here going to be 49 when Maynard comes back across the line. We will get you updated right now. Is currently Ty Robertson in this number 88 machine the Last Row Motorsports scored in the 4th place position. That'll be 6 spots from where he started. There is a 20-point hard charger award here tonight for any of the drivers who gain the most positions. Ty Robertson ain't by himself though. Here comes the hard charging Bobby Kyle for BKM Racing. Bobby Kyle, the Silver Bullet, up 6 spots as well from where he started. He wants another position here tonight, trying to bring home that 20 points. And with Terry Hughes Jr. manhandling Ty Robertson right there on that little short green flag pit stop, letting these 2 guys battle it out door to door. Jonathan Smith and Ty Robertson. Terry Hughes Jr. will say, see you folks, and he'll go right on by Ty Robertson. So Ty Robertson, it looks like he'll lose another position to John Smith. So that'll put Bobby Kyle right in the driver's seat. No pun intended of the hard charger award here tonight. Maynard off of turns 1 and 2. Colin Cole eating into that race lead down to 5 seconds. 50 laps complete here in the Salesforce 160. Ladies and gentlemen, as these guys continue to battle it out here, trying to make things happen and complete all the laps here, every point does matter on the long run when the season comes to an end. Carter Jackson, a screwalizing penalty call there on pit lane for the Rising Sun Racing. Number 17 Western Auto Camaro up Carter Jackson. Carter Jackson come down on the pit lane there, called speeding, had to come back down, serve the 40-second holding spot, cost him a lap there during the long green flag run. Michael Ponder Jr. had to make another unscheduled green flag pit stop here in this Bombay machine in the number 13 for MTL Motorsports. Listening in to the doctor's radio, he's screaming and yelling at the crew, telling them they got to get the lug nuts tight on these race cars if they want to have a chance at victory lane. Michael Ponder said, I was flirting with the race lead earlier tonight. Now we're battling back from 2 laps down, and we've yet to have a caution. What are you boys doing down there? Solid day right here from Tim Powers in this 45 machine. Come down on the pit lane. We heard you talk to you right there from Millie Motorsports. They gave him a track bar adjustment, a little bit of a half-pound air pressure adjustment up the right side tires. But the maiden trail Camaro is actually cutting down some decent lap times right now in this number 45 machine. He's on the top side of the racetrack. He'll give up the spot right there to the lap traffic car of Jack Tankos in this number 4 Budweiser. Jack Tankos, yeah, you heard it right, folks. Jack Tankos. That's not Kevin Tankos inside of that number 4 machine. Jack Tankos, the father of Kevin Tankos, filling in the role here tonight, trying to get the points here. He, instead of grabbing the starting part for Kevin Tankos, they got the substitute driver, Jack Tankos, off of the pit wall. He was going to call the shots on the box here tonight, but as soon as Kevin Tankos could not go tonight inside of the car, they got the seat insert in there for Jack Tankos. He's out here on the racetrack. He's keeping it out of trouble, trying to keep the number 4's nose clean, and he's done great up to this point so far. Maynard on the long green flag run here goes down first, trying to make something shake on lap number 32. Here it is on lap number 54. He's got the race lead, and Colin Cole is eating into it. You can best believe it, the Nebraska driver on the march here in Chicagoland. Terry Hughes Jr. in the number 81 machine on the bottom to the middle side of the racetrack, trying to get the aero block to the number 10 machine. Carter Jackson slow down on the bottom side of the racetrack. The number 17 may have problems inside of this race car. What's going on with the 17? And he'll park it here on the back straightaway. Caution flag is out. No! What has happened? No, on the green flag run, Carter Jackson parks it on the bottom of the racetrack like a protester. And the caution flag is out, folks, for the first time here tonight. What happened to the number 17? We'll take a look here on lap number 55. Carter Jackson will be the person causing now. And we see him slow off of turn 2 here, getting out of the way of Terry Hughes Jr. See if we can't get on board. The motor's still running. He's downshifting, but not sure what had entirely happened there. Everybody else working around the racetrack. Maynard with the race lead, and the caution flag flies here on the front straightaway. We'll back that up one more time and see if we missed something. We see, all right, he scrapes the wall right there. Does this show us anything that we might need to see? Jackson already in trouble earlier down on pit lane, causing himself a black flag, gets into the outside safer barrier there through 2. Pulls it down on the bottom side of the racetrack and just parks it like a protester, triggering the caution flag here at the Chicagoland Speedway. What an unfortunate event for guys like Nicholas Maynard on the long flag green pit stop, and Colin Cole running him down there. This is a killer here, folks, for the playoffs. We're back in here in just a moment. Clean up as Peter the Pace car heads out on the racetrack. Not sure what the caution flag was for. We'll try to confirm it back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, flying high above the racetrack with Billy the Blimp driver. We're underneath the caution flag for the first time here tonight for the Salesforce 160. Nicholas Maynard's out front here with the race lead in this PPG number 02 Mustang. And just as I was getting ready to say it, how many of these guys are going to be the ones to call it down on the pit lane and try to make something shake after that long green flag run there was going to be real interesting, as Colin Cole was really starting to reel in that back bumper of the 02 of Nicholas Maynard, our pole sitter here tonight. It looks like everybody works their way down on the pit lane. How will the crew chiefs elect to service these cars? Trenton Johns on the 54 will come down. The main and trail, number 45, of 10 Powers will come down. Trent Hughes will come down, and so will Chris Knighty. Nicholas Maynard's team's guys are over the wall quick and early there. They're jumping on the race car, trying to make something shake here now on the left side. And on the left rear, the gas man will take the jug out. We'll watch the battle off of pit lane here tonight. The battle off of pit lane as you look down on a beautiful Chicagoland Speedway with the lights on as we begin to slowly rack up the MRL Gen-6 Cup Series Season 3 regular season finale, meaning that we are starting the playoffs 2 weeks from now. We'll pull up the race recap. 57 laps are completed out of the schedule 110. Maynard will pick up the lead there off of pit lane after the caution flag there for Carter Jackson. We've had one caution here tonight for incident, 2 cautions for the pace parade laps to start tonight's event with 9 different lead changes. Holy shit, folks. If you tuned in here tonight to kick off tonight's main event portion part of tonight's event, when we kicked off, I'd say probably maybe first 10, 20, 30 laps or so, these guys would not separate from an inch from one another. But the weather, certainly a beautiful night to go racing. Can't blame them. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been out there on that fan zone, got yourself some brand new merchandise from your favorite drivers. What the hell are you doing? Riding out the tail end of Peter the pace car. Looks like the lights will go off on top of the pace car this time around, indicating to us and you guys here on the YouTube page that we will go green this time around. So strategy is going to be the key role, I would imagine, here tonight. How these guys elect to decide to play it. Riding on board with the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard from Wilford, South Carolina, started on the pole here tonight. He's currently scored in the first place position. He has led a total of 32 laps here tonight. On the inside, on the outside of him will be the Goldsboro, North Carolina driver of Jonathan Smith from KnappDaddyRacing Designs number 10. Ford Mustang has some speed in it here tonight. How does KnappDaddyRacing's Jonathan Smith elect the race here on the restart? Riding on board, Colin Cole's number 9 machine from looks like going to be the 4th place spot on the restart as the lights are off on top of the base car. Colin Cole will take us into turn 1 here. It looks like it will be on the race leader of Nicholas Maynard when the green flag flies. Pace car is off. You're getting ready to go racing into turn 1 on the restart here at Chicagoland in the Madness Racing League. Not the greatest of restarts right there for Colin Cole, that number 9 CK parking lot maintenance Camaro, but he has some long run speed there. We're seeing take over the race lead here before the last one's down on pit lane. But look at the battle for the race lead here. Early lap number 1 on that restart. Coming to lap number 60. Maynard has the race lead over Ty Robertson, and the Salesforce 160 is back underneath the green flag and in action here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. There is not a fan sitting their ass down in the stands. A sold out crowd here tonight. Maynard been dominant all far up here to this point, 60 laps into tonight's event. We've officially reached the halfway point. Ladies and gentlemen, go grab another beer, light another cigarette. Ty Robertson cuts the air off to the 54 of Trenton Johns. They'll battle up a turn 4, heading across the front straightaway. These guys are not going to give an inch here tonight. 8 spots gained here for the number 88 of Ty Robertson. He's currently sitting in the Hard Charger Award. It would be 20 points to the bonus to the Ty Robertson Last Road Motorsports 88 machine. Ty Robertson missed the race 2 weeks ago and put him behind from the race leader on the regular season points lead. Guess what happened? Terry Hughes Jr. won the race at Talladega, picked up his first career win in the 81 machine. Terry Hughes Jr. made up the points gap difference, took over the points race lead, and that was all because Ty Robertson was not able to make the trip 2 weeks ago. And ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Already getting past again, Trenton Johns gets around Ty Robertson. That'll bring Bobby Kyle back into the picture for the Hard Charger Award, tied at 7 spots apiece. Here comes the honor field driver of Bobby Kyle. 62 laps are complete here in the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. Maynard, Johns, contact made earlier today. Back on the racetrack, the Salesforce 160 dives back into turns 1 and 2. Trenton Johns doored the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard earlier. Maynard got loose, lost the race lead. How does the Maynard elect to race Trenton Johns in the 54 this time around? He'll pull back into the line here, climbing the making through turns 3 and 4. Colin Cole just looking for an inch and move to strike here. But Ty Robertson's going to fill that hole down on that bottom side of the racetrack. Here comes Jonathan Smith in the number 10 machine. Heading across the front straightaway here, the M&M's Toyota Camry's out front in Chicagoland. And if you're loving what you're seeing, folks, again, we just said it. Slap that like button, press that follow button. We'll get you down here on tonight's main broadcast cam for another Fast and Loud for the Madness Racing League regular season finale. Who's going to be the top 10 drivers heading to the playoffs here tonight? Off the making through turns 3 and 4 live here at the Chicagoland Speedway. This has been session number 2 of the Madness Racing League. Bring it up Fast and Loud here tonight at Chicagoland. If you didn't get the chance to see that, holy shit, some battles all over the racetrack. Guys moving in and out of traffic, trying to make something shake. Heading off the exit of turn 2, the battle for the race lead is still on. It's Ty Robertson and Trenton Johns. Both of these guys known for their aggressive driving, not going to give an inch here tonight. Ty Robertson needing a win, trying to get back into the point standing, chasing the 54 up the racetrack. The 88 is going to continue to chase the 54 up the racetrack. How does the 54 elect to play a contact made to Trent Hughes from Chris Knighty? Trent Hughes to Chris Knighty. Looks like Trent Hughes got caught on that outside line. Big time right side damage for the number 18 Mobil 1 Ford Mustang of Trent Hughes. But here comes Chris Knighty in the Triple News Discount Tire Machine. The Maverick working his way up through the field here in Chicagoland. We'll give the props where it's due always. 81 Excise Racing Triple News Discount Tire Ford Mustang of Chris Knighty. Started from the pits here tonight, and look at this shit, folks. He's on the march on the outside, looking to get around the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. But the battle for the race lead is no longer anymore. Trenton Johns gets some drafting help from Colin Cole, but Colin Cole will move to the inside line through 3 and 4. He wants the race lead back here in Chicagoland. Maynard trying to get some momentum here on the top side, outside line. Can he get it up and moving? He'll come to the back bumper of the 54. Can he get to the right rear quarter panel? Maynard to the top side of the racetrack, 3 wide for the race lead off turn 2. Maynard pulled this same move earlier tonight. Does he have enough to hold on to it? The battle's not over with yet into 3. John's up the middle. Cole down low. Maynard upstairs. How do they hold it through 4? Maynard gets the advantage off turn 4. Ty Robertson looking out the front nose of this number 88 machine, wondering what the hell just happened. Now he's 3 wide in the second row. Trent John trying to hold his line up the middle. Colin Cole getting shoved down low. Terry Hughes Jr.'s got a thing of momentum on the top side of the racetrack. He'll take every bit of it on the outside and roll into turn 3 on the top side. He'll clear himself across the nose of the number 54 of Trenton Johns. Chris Knighty giving his 81XI racing machine of Terry Hughes Jr.'s partner Mustang a push. Can he get his way up through the field? Chris Knighty wants a chance at a win here in the Gen-6 Cup Series. Does the Discount Tire Triple Deuce have it up here? 75 laps are completed out of the scheduled 110. Maynard back out front here in Chicagoland. Maynard, Robertson battle for the race lead down into turn 3 and 4. Maynard's led a fuck ton of laps here tonight. Ty Robertson marked back in traffic for majority parts of tonight's Salesforce 160. Can he get some clean airs on the front nose of the Exalta number 88? Can Maynard defend his position here? He wants a win here in season 3. Ty Robertson has a win here on the year, ladies and gentlemen, at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He's looking for win number 2 here tonight. Terry Hughes Jr., that 81 Blue Death machine, won at Talladega 2 weeks ago with the push of the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Maynard hasn't won a race all year. He's trying to battle hard back here for the second place spot. All 3 of these guys, top 3 drivers in points. This could be the difference for the number 1 seed in the playoffs. 8 drivers you could throw a blanket over, battling for the race lead. Here comes the silver bullet of Bobby Kyle, the old-timer, using lessons learned over 20-something odd years of sim racing. BKM Racing marching through the field. Bobby Kyle has a piece here. His guys are starting to tell him that if he can lay off of it just a bit, they may be able to make it on fuel. If you're going to make it on fuel, you better be way sagging off. Bobby Kyle looking 3 wide on the inside of Nicholas Maynard. Johns on the top side. Contact Maynard. Maynard's going to have to keep his line on turn 2. Woo! 3 laps in a row. We've seen 3 wide racing here in Chicagoland inside of these Gen-6 Cup cars. We told you guys, these guys were going to get runs like no other here tonight, and it was going to take every bit of knowledge and grit and hustle you have in your notebook to go to victory lane. You've seen the keys of the race. How does it shake out here tonight? Chris Knighty having the run of his life inside of the Discount Tire Triple Deuce machine. Can he hold it on? The Maverick working his way up through the field from B-Town, Indiana. He wants a chance at victory lane here. How does he reach the 2 guys in front of him? Chris Knighty will battle door-to-door here with another Ford Mustang. Jonathan Smith, Terry Hughes Jr., Chris Knighty, Jonathan Smith. 3 Ford Blue Ovals here in the top 5 spots. Ty Robertson, the lonesome blow tie right out here in front. But you still have a shot at victory lane. 7 drivers now you can throw a blanket over, battling for the race lead. Terry Hughes Jr. looking to go back-to-back here and tonight at Chicagoland. If he can pick up the win, 30 laps to go here in the regular season of the Gen-6 Cup Series. Maynard and Smith battle door-to-door. Chris Knighty's going to look to that right rear quarter panel, that 81 Blue Death Ford Mustang of Terry Hughes Jr. And the second that he can get to it, you best believe he's going to try to bust the move. But Maynard on the outside, he'll get the run around the number triple deuce of Chris Knighty. What a move from the 02 of Maynard. He'll look back to the back bumper of Terry Hughes Jr. Had to jump up out the gas. But Ty Robertson will take it down on the bottom side, knock off the air to the 81 Blue Death machine. How does this manage the traffic back here? Dirty air managing all over through the front noses of these race cars. That air pressure adjustment for that triple deuce of Chris Knight came to life there on that short run there after the green flag restart. He's made his way up here for the track position. His guys are plotting now on what they want to do for the green flag pit stop. We've officially been told by the admin they will have to make at least one more stop here tonight at Chicagoland. It's anybody's ball game. Maynard door-to-door with Jonathan Smith, trying to figure out who's going to grab the third place spot. Terry Hughes Jr. just trying to save a little bit of Goodyear rubber and make something shake. Colin Cole finally calls it quits and brings it down on the pit lane or something. He's way back here in the pack. Last lap pitted for Colin Cole. Lap number 78. That's a while ago, folks. Terry Hughes Jr. He's trying to work his way up through the field. Colin Cole goes down on the pit lane immediately as soon as the green flag pit cycle fuel window opens. You know, if you go down now, you got plenty of fuel to get to the end. How do the crew chiefs play it here on the box? This race was heading in an entirely different situation and way earlier tonight. Maynard to the left, right with quarter panel of Jonathan Smith. A caution flag for Carter Jackson in the number 17 after. Not sure entirely what happened to Carter Jackson. He just stopped the car down off turn 2. Not sure if it was a battery or an alternator issue inside of the race car. Maybe misfired and couldn't get it going. Maybe the transmission gave out. We do not know. We do know we got a safety report from the Infield Care Center here on the Booty Shoe Racing Channel's Madness Racing League pit reporter, indicating us that, Carter Jackson climbed out of that race car. He took the mandatory trip down into the Infield Care Center. He was cleared and released, and he will decline an interview here with our pit reporter, so that is kind of sad to hear. Wanted to hear what Carter Jackson had to say after bringing up the caution flag that has really shook this damn race up here. Ty Robertson bringing it down on the pit lane, and he's got some help behind him. That's Bobby Kyle in that 777. Bobby Kyle is going to try to follow the race leader here down on the pit lane and make up the difference. How do they elect to do it? Does anybody take 2 Goodyear tires, or do you take the 4 and call it a day? 25 laps to go. The Silver Bullet will slide down into his pit box. That's Bobby Kyle. Ty Robertson's crew says it's going to be 4 tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. The same for Bobby Kyle and Ty Robertson here on pit lane. Terry Hughes Jr. will take the extra lap. Here comes Nicholas Maynard. He'll bring it down on the pit lane. Behind him will be the triple deuce discount tire Ford Mustang of Chris Knighty. 2 more blue ovals call the bluff of the race leader of Ty Robertson. And they have already dropped the jack. He is on and off of pit lane. Can Maynard and Knighty's crew get them on and off of pit road before Ty Robertson can get back around? Maynard's guys will jump and hop over the wall. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the 02 PPG Ford Mustang driver of Nicholas Maynard. His crew's going to have a chance at the spot here, but they're going to have to beat out the race leader of what's going to be Ty Robertson as Terry Hughes Jr. brings it down on the pit lane. Maynard coming off of pit road, but here comes Ty Robertson. He's not going to beat him off pit lane. Trouble there with something with the right rear tire or the jack or something. Maynard with a slow stop, but here comes Terry Hughes Jr. from the race lead down on the pit lane, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Terry Hughes Jr. said he began to chatter the right front tire on entry. They'll adjust for that one right here. The 81 Racing driver looking for back-to-back wins here. They'll drop the jack, and he's on and off pit lane. Can Terry Hughes Jr. beat out John Smith and Ty Robertson? No, he'll lose the lap there on that long run for the green flag cycle. Maynard working his way back up here. He's in the 5th place spot. He's not too far behind the tail of, looks like going to be the lead pack cars of Jonathan Smith and Ty Robertson. Chris Knighty working his way back up through the cycle quite well. Is good for the triple deuce discount tire machine of Chris Knighty, the Maverick. Having a hell of a run here tonight. Bobby Kyle will look to the inside of Trenton Johns. This will be for the 5th place spot here this lap around. Give it to Bobby Kyle that time by nose. And it looks like Jonathan Smith, Ty Robertson, try something different here. Trap back there in the not lap traffic, but in the dirty air for where the group got a terrible restart to start tonight's Salesforce 160. They fell off by about 5 or 6 seconds behind the towing pack. Both of these drivers come down on the pit lane after that caution flag. It really changed the race around for Ty Robertson and John Smith. It's the caution flag that they needed. These guys and their crew chiefs have played it smartly. They have lowered the air pressure, and both of these race cars are dragging the splitters here through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. How do these guys elect to play each other? They're not even for the race lead yet. The battle for the race lead will be when they reach the number 9 of Colin Cole. Remember, though, folks, Colin Cole with a hellacious pit call up there on that box as soon as the green flag stop came online for these guys to be able to come down on the pit lane. Colin Cole's number 9 CK parking lot maintenance crew brought him down on the pit lane, gave him a 14-second stop. They took 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel inside of this number 9 machine. But he's running for his life right now as Ty Robertson and John Smith slowly eat up that back bumper. This could be the battle for the race win here tonight with 20 laps to go. Maynard's no sloucher here. He still has a shot at it. 7.8 seconds to the race leader, and he's eating into it as well. We'll check the lap time this time around. Maynard's lap time to the race leader. Maynard will run a 31.4. We'll run a 35. The leader will run a 31.4, so about a second faster for Maynard on those new tires. We'll check up the second and third place spot. Jonathan Smith, he's way over a second faster than the race leader. We'll check Ty Robertson. Both of these guys will run about a 30.7 second lap time. John Smith just a tad bit faster here, riding in the draft of the number 9 of Tom and the 88 of Ty Robertson. Maynard, though, has got some work to do, but it's not over yet. 18 laps to go. $18 laps remain here in the Salesforce 150. Everybody has brought it down on the pit lane. The cycle is completed. Nobody can bring it down on unless we've had another caution. So that means that how will you play it, folks? Chris Knighty with a huge run to the back bumper of the 54 of Trent Johns. You're looking out the fan cam here at Chicagoland. What a shot. Beautiful wheeling lights shining down onto the racetrack here, giving you an awesome view of this side-by-side battle all the way around the racetrack. Trenton Johns and Chris Knighty putting on a show for that 6th place spot. Colin Cole just lurking out the back mirror here, knowing what's in lurking distance behind him. If he can hold on for 16 more laps this time around, Colin Cole can grab his 2nd win on the year. Can the number 9 do something about it here? What a pit stop it would be, and a strategy call for Colin Cole if this all works out. Ty Robertson eating into that race lead, though. 1.5 seconds now the race lead gap between Ty Robertson and John Smith, who's already came down on the pit lane as well. But there is a 12-lap difference, I believe, between Colin Cole, the race leader, and Ty Robertson and these boys. Colin Cole came down on lap number 78 and threw a 14.5 second 4-tire green flag pit stop. Lap number 85 for Ty Robertson, as well as Jonathan Smith down on lap number 84. So Colin Cole going to be running on about a 7-8 lap difference here in tires. You're seeing how much the significant in-wear matters here at Chicagoland. And with lap traffic slowly approaching in front of the race leader in Colin Cole, how does he play it? Jack Tango has had a really decent night here tonight, even though he's riding around 2 laps down. Jack Tango got the call late here that he was even going to be in the race car. His son, Kevin Tanko, is competing full-time here on the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. Jack Tanko's getting out of the way of the race leaders. He's going to let them drive right on by. Jack Tanko's telling him to bring it down on the pit lane. We'll throw you 4 fresh tires on and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. They'll also go ahead and tell Jack Tanko's that it's looking real nice for Kevin Tanko's, his son's playoff spot. He just needs to keep picking off laps here. Maynard trying to work into this lead here with the battle for the race lead is on our way. Colin Cole has been ran down by Ty Robertson here on the long green flag pit cycle stop. Colin Cole's just not going to have enough here to hold off these 2 hard charging cars. Climbing the banking through 3 and 4. Colin Cole will not be denied, though. He's going to fight back every inch here. But it's going to be Ty Robertson on the green flag cycle. He's got to cut it on now. John Smith in the lurking distance. Does Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina. He'll have 12 laps to try to go run down Ty Robertson here. Both of these guys, a lap difference in tires. But here comes Nicholas Maynard. He's 2.5 seconds behind now from Welford, South Carolina. How does the kid play it here on the long run? He's got a shot at the back bumper, 12 laps to go. Anything's possible. Now that the green flag cycle has stretched out here and we finally find out that Colin Cole isn't going to have enough to hold on. Is he even going to have enough to hold on to the third place spot? Maynard charging hard in the number 02. He's going to want that position there as every point matters here in the regular season. Headed to the playoff 2 weeks from now. I say we get you down on the racetrack for one more Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. Fast and loud with 10 laps to go. Ty Robertson trying to hold on to it here in the Salesforce 160. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 5 laps to go. Next time around here at Chicagoland Speedway. Ty Robertson needing a win here tonight for the 88 machine from Colin, Alabama. Missed the race 2 weeks ago. Cost him the regular season points lead after Terry Hughes Jr.'s win at Talladega. He's got a shot at one here tonight. He's currently registered 9 spots from where he started. He will take home that 20 extra bonus point hard charger award if he can hold on to it. But right behind him is John Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Came down a lap before him on pit lane trying to call his bluff. But Goldsboro, North Carolina, stand up. John Smith has a win on the regular season. It ain't over with yet. 4 laps to go here in Chicagoland. Behind them will be the kid of Nicholas Maynard inside of this 02 Team Penske Development machine. Maynard's led a race high here tonight, 38 laps inside of this 02 PPG Ford Mustang. On the long run here, he's gotten around Colin Cole in the number 9 machine. Maynard's done everything right here tonight, but the green flag pit cycles have cost him here on the long run. Colin Cole holding on in the 4th place spot, from Lincoln, Nebraska, after coming down the pit about 31 laps ago now. 4 laps remain here for Colin Cole. He will be running on fumes, trying to get enough gas here to the end. Terry Hughes Jr. won't go back-to-back here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel unless we get a caution flag. But Troy, Alabama, stand up. What a day here for Terry Hughes Jr. Held the race car clean. He's going to grab a top 5 if he doesn't get passed by this hard-charging Bobby Kyle right behind him. Terry Hughes Jr. has had a hell of a day here tonight. Bobby Kyle's team telling him, Bobby, you're going to have to save us a little bit of fuel, maybe about half a lap. We're going to be short. Bobby Kyle running low here on fuel after pitting there early 2 laps ago here in Chicagoland. Ty Robertson has opened it up to a 1.2 second lead over John Smith. Nicholas Maynard. Don't look like he'll have enough here tonight to close up the gap to that second place spot. Colin Cole being ran down by Terry Hughes Jr. Ty Robertson heading off of turn 3 and 4. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com for the number 88 of Ty Robertson. He'll have to work around the lap traffic of Michael Ponder Jr. Ponder will go right out of the way for the race leader like a respectful driver that he is. John Smith in the second place spot. A oh-so heartbreak here tonight. Maynard looks like he'll get the third place spot, but it's going to be Ty Robertson heading through the corner of turn 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. The number 88 of Ty Robertson. Perfect through the green flag pit stop there late after stuck in traffic early. Caution flag is not out. Green flag is in the air, and checker flag will win it for Ty Robertson, using lessons learned all year long to score his second win on the year. What a race, what a finish, what a green flag run. 2 different times here tonight for the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. But it was Ty Robertson there on that long green flag run, calling it perfect there. He was the first one down on the second green flag pit stop cycle, and it'll win him the race. Jonathan Smith gives him the congratulatory bump there, and he'll pull around to the front half of the field. And that second place spot, Maynard. 38 laps led here tonight, but won't be the champion. Won't be the trophy or the regular season points leader champion. We'll see how things shake out for the 0-2. He'll grab the third place spot. Colin Cole grabs the fourth place spot. Terry Hughes Jr. will grab that fifth place spot there. What a run for Terry Hughes and that 81 machine. But it's Ty Robertson burning it down here on the front straightaway here in Chicagoland for you fans. He'll win it. Ty Robertson blows the motor here on the front straightaway. 23 laps led there to end it for the number 88 from Coleman, Alabama, and the Last Rose Motorsports. Ty Robertson wins it here at the Chicagoland Speedway. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll take it to the commercial break. It looks like the admin's going to have a talk over with some of the drivers here for the driver interviews. Ty Robertson takes it over there at the ending, and the Salesforce 160 belongs to him. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here for the Salesforce 160 for the Gen-6 Cup Series. We have just wrapped up tonight's event, and it was one hell of a show. It was a beautiful day to go racing, though, here in Joliet, Illinois. Ty Robertson going to be the race winner here tonight after a dominating pit stop performance there. The weather, and we'll pull up the race recap now. 112 laps completed after he took the extra 2 laps there to celebrate and burn it down for you fans. We only had 2 caution flags here tonight, and for 5 laps, 17 different lead changes. Really begins to show you some of the action-packed racing we had here tonight, though. That all doesn't matter. Looks like we got a pit reporter down on pit lane, and with the driver of the number 88 of Ty Robertson. Let's see what he's got to say. Go ahead.
Down here in Victory Lane at the Chicagoland Speedway for the Salesforce 160. We're live here in Chicago, Illinois, with the race winner, driver the number 88 of Ty Robertson. Ty, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. Where did things slip around for you as you were able to get yourself a nice green flag pit stop there and out to the front of the lead?
There on that first run, we kind of laid back a little too far, me and John, and we probably weren't going to get back up there even if there wasn't a yellow, so that yellow helped us out a lot. But, yeah, I was really good getting on pit road all race. I'm honestly not sure what I was doing that was helping me so much, but somehow I was getting it down there and not speeding into pit road, but being really fast. It was great. Working with John there right at the end, that helped us catch up to Colin pretty fast. So that helped us out a lot there, and obviously tried to save my tires as much as I could, but with it being a little bit of a shorter run, you had to push it a little bit. But yeah, it was a great points day. I'm not sure if we got enough to get to the points lead or not, but otherwise we should be in a good seed going into the playoffs, and hopefully it'll go well for us, and we might end up with a chip.
That's the 88 of Ty Robertson. We'll scoot down here to the P2 part-time driver of the number 10 of Jonathan Smith. John, kind of walk us through your race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Not the greatest qualifying spot that you was looking for. Turn 1, you kind of dropped back trying to save a little bit of tire. Just kind of walk us through your strategy inside of this 10 pit box.
The strategy was just to follow Ty, just do what he's doing. Really good racer. It's good to be behind people like that, so you can follow their line and kind of learn what they're doing. I think it did kind of hurt me there the last 10 laps. So every time I get across that right bumper, I get a little bit tight, and I think I was cutting the tire a little too much. But he had the faster car all night, so he was in front of me anyways. But I would like to make it a little bit closer, but not really racing for points this season, just part-time. So just trying to keep it clean, stay off of people, not wreck anybody, mess anybody else's race up. Just out here to have a good time, learn from people like Ty and everything. So congrats to him. Congrats to Nick getting that top 3 at finish, and Terry back there, I think in Swift goes with 8 at iRacing. So I think Chris is up there in top 10. So good racing for the boys here. Yeah, it's still a fun time.
That's the driver, the number 10 of Jonathan Smith, will bring home the top 2 here tonight at Chicagoland. We'll scoot down here to the P3 spot of the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Chicagoland. Yeah, we had a stupid fast 02 Menards PPG Ford Mustang here tonight. Set on the pole, we led the most laps, and exactly like I just said a minute ago over the radio to these guys, the 2 fastest guys we didn't want out front got caught back in not lap traffic, but back in the pack early, and we had them right where we needed them to, through the green flag pit stops and all, and it was that yellow there really killed this 02 machine. We were knocked out of the lead twice by the 54 machine. I'm not sure what his problem is. I'm not going to call nobody out by name, but that is definitely unnecessary. And then to get absolutely dog walked by the 17 out of the race lead, and then that caution flag to come out there to screw the 02 team really sucked here tonight. We'll take the P3. We tried our hardest. We cut up what we could of the gap to Ty Robertson and Jonathan Smith. They were just in a different class out there in clean air, but we'll take the P3. That's Nicholas Maynard, the 02. We'll scoot down here to 2 weeks ago's winner at Talladega, Terry Hughes Jr. Terry, another top 5 for you here. You're the regular season point standing leader coming into tonight's event, and another top 5 should probably secure that for you as you pass Colin Cole there. As Colin Cole finishes above you, we'll see how that shakes out. Just kind of walk us through what this number 81 machine went through tonight.
Well, we definitely had a fast car. It was not the greatest in traffic by no means. And then we had a couple of crappy pit stops, not even going to lie. Then we had to really push it there at the very end to attempt to even get the top 5. And it ended up getting really tight there towards the end and couldn't catch anybody, so we're trying to keep it clean and at least make a top 5 out of this day so we can attempt to have a number 1 seed going into the playoffs. But good racing by everybody. There's some things that should have been cleaned up, but all in all, a good day.
That's the 81 of Terry Hughes Jr., winner here in Season 3 of the Cup Series. He will finish tonight in the top 5 spot, and he'll wait to see where he gets seated for the playoffs. That'll do it here tonight at Chicagoland Speedway. We'll be back 2 weeks from now, beginning of the playoffs at the Kansas Motor Speedway.
And we'll throw it back up here to the booth on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. What a finish here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. So we can bring back a little bit of music from the DJ. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll show you the results one more time. We'll be back here in just a second. We will grab a couple of the drivers and tell them congratulations before they head on out of here. And we'll have the rest of your post-race show when we return. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live at the Chicagoland Speedway. What a race here tonight. Seems Ty Robertson winning out of 110 laps scheduled here tonight for the Salesforce 160. 17 different lead changes. It was actually packed here tonight, if that's actually even a word. We'll actually bring up tonight's final results. Ty Robertson will win the race here tonight, his second one on the season, as the guys tally up the playoff standings here. We'll find out which 10 drivers will head to the playoff here in just a moment. Jonathan Smith brings home the second place spot here tonight in his KnappDaddyRacing number 10 machine, and behind him was Nicholas Maynard and the Team Penske Development number 02. Nicholas Maynard will sit on the pole tonight, lead the most laps. He'll take 10 bonus points to his total score, and Ty Robertson, forgot to mention in that first place spot, will snag the 20 bonus points for the Hard Charger Award. Colin Cole will bring home the fourth place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel from Lincoln, Nebraska, with Terry Hughes Jr. trying to go back-to-back here in his number 81 iRacing 81 machine. And the sixth place spot will belong to Bobby Kyle in the BKM 777 machine from Huntersville, Georgia. Bobby Kyle shot out of a cannon there early. He was definitely looking like he had a chance to win it here tonight. Chris Knighty driving the Triple Deuce machine for 81 iRacing. Bad fast cars here tonight from 81 iRacing, and Chris Knighty may have just had one of the cars here to beat tonight. There's a little bit of a mistake there late, battling hard in some dirty air, leaves Chris Knighty finishing in the 7th place position. Trent Johns snags out the 8th place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel in his MTL Motorsports machine from McCurry County, Kentucky, after leading 23 laps here tonight. Tim Powers snags the P9 spot here tonight from Newark, New Jersey, in his Chevy Camaro with the number 13 of Michael Ponder Jr. from Ranger, Georgia, in the MTL Motorsports 13, bringing home the top 10 spot. 11th place spot belonged to Trent Hughes. He really needed a solid day here tonight. He was only about 8 points out from the playoffs. Did Trent Hughes do enough to get in? We'll have to figure out here in just a moment. Jack Tankos fills in here tonight for the number 4 Rush Motorsports Camaro of Kevin Tankos. That'll be his son, Kevin Tankos, I shall add. Jack Tankos, the father of Kevin Tankos, will hop into the race car here tonight down on pit lane. He had his fire suit and helmet on board, and that's why you bring your driver's suit to the racetrack every week, folks. Jack Tankos brings home a solid top 12 spot here tonight, and he'll be able to snag some points for his son. It looks like we'll see how he'll shake out in the playoffs. Carter Jackson driving the number 17 machine brings out the only caution flag we had out here tonight, and it really killed tonight's green flag ruin pit cycle. Carter Jackson, though, will rebound a couple weeks from now and finish out the Gen-6 Cup Series, I believe, if he is actually even still racing in the series. Ladies and gentlemen, though, it looks like that's going to do it here tonight at the Chicagoland Speedway. The lights are fully illuminated here, and that looks like guys are beginning to pile out of the racetrack. I want to remind you, folks, we are not responsible for your DUI. Ty Robertson wins it here tonight. 2 caution flags, 1 for the pace laps to begin tonight's event, and 1 for Carter Jackson. 17 different lead changes, and if you're on your way out here tonight, don't forget 4 mile-per-hour winds are in the book here for the Madness Racing League's Gen-6 Cup Series after the conclusion of tonight's event. A cold, cloudy night to drive home, so make sure you guys are locked and safe. Make sure you click it or get a ticket. Want to remind you, folks, to tune in tomorrow night on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel live on the All Out Dirt Tour at the Llamaland Speedway. It'll be race number 5 of 6, so we are slowly approaching on that. Ladies and gentlemen, though, it looks like the playoff results are in, and I have them. We are on our way. Are you ready to figure out who's heading to the playoffs here in the Gen-6 Cup Series? Bang, bang, bang! Looks like Terry Hughes Jr. will hold on to that regular season championship standing. He will be seated number 1 in the playoffs when we get to the Kansas Motor Speedway a few weeks from now. Ty Robertson will make the difference up, from 4th to 2nd. He'll be seated 2nd on the regular season. Colin Cole stands out here. He will stand in the 3rd place spot on the regular season. Maynard will lose a spot. He'll drop down to the 4th place position, and he will be seated 4th. Kevin Tankles will make the playoffs. Tim Powers will make the playoffs. Bobby Kyle, Trent Johns, Michael Gregory, and Trent Hughes will get in the playoffs. Look at that, by 36 points over Michael Ponder Jr., who will make the charge from 13th back to 11th, almost making the playoffs here. What a finish here to those final drivers going into tonight's playoffs. Holy cow, folks. Terry Hughes Jr. will be our number 1 seeded playoff driver when we get over to Kansas Motor Speedway a few weeks from now. Ty Robertson will have some work to do, and so will everybody else below them in green. Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us, though, here tonight on the on the MRL Gen-6 Cup Series live on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel here from Chicagoland. Tune in tomorrow night for the All Out Dirt Tour UMP Modified Division live from the Llamaland Speedway. God bless.